Hey there folks, and welcome back to the I Am CDB project. I of course am your host CDB, you are not, and we've got a couple of new products that I'm going to use on my head today. I'm doing this on the head because it just came in a little bit ago in the mail, and I've already shaved my face for today, but I wanted to give these guys a look, so I'm going to shave my head. This is the RazoRock SLOC self-lubricating open comb, I believe it's called, as you can see there, with the barber pole, I believe stainless steel handle. Handle's very nice. Of course, the head is a cheaper, just cast head, but we're going to see how it shaves. It's similar to the Phoenix, I think double open comb, although not exactly. And I'll talk a little bit about that in a minute. I'm also going to use this ultra slick shave stick that was sent to me by Pacific Shaving Company. So we're going to try this on the dome and see how it goes. So let me go ahead and wet the dome. I did use the Pacific stick on my face the other day, and it generated a nice lather and did well. So we'll see how this goes on my head. Unfortunately, I can't give this away because I will have put it all over my face and head, but they did send some other things which I will both demonstrate and give away for you guys, because that's always that's always what I tell anyone who wants me to try anything. Hey, if I can give it away, good to go, unless I'm just testing a new soap or something that's not meant for prime time. Anyway, that should be good enough. The scent on this is just sort of like spearmint, or reminds you of toothpaste or something like that. It's not really remarkable. And so we're going to use our RazoRock 400 here, and we'll lather up the dome and see how things go today. I hope you guys are having a wonderful Saturday. It got cold last night. It was 27 degrees, I think, when I woke up this morning. And so I'm not really digging that, to tell you the truth. But, life goes on. The sun is out now, so I'm very happy about that. I'm hoping we'll see spring come about soon. Now, as you can see right here, it doesn't have any problem producing lather. The lather's a little bit bubbly, so I could work it some more, but I believe it'll be adequate. Let's see how we do there. Yeah, there we go. Let's add just a little bit of water. Get some, there we go, additional slickness in there. It did a good job lathering on my face. I didn't have any performance problems. The scent, like I said, I'm not blown over by the scent, but it did fine. It is in a convenient form factor in this sort of deodorant-like container. And so, let us see how we do with our RazoRock SLOC. And let's try not to cut my ear. And that feels pretty good. And I'll talk a little bit about this razor. Oh, that feels quite good, actually. Feels forgiving. Nice and mild. At least that's what I think I'm feeling. Let's talk a little bit about the SLOC. Now, my take on inspired by products. Virtually everything other than the first one is an inspired by product, or a copy in some way of something else. The first car was around, then there came others, and everything was around. Gillette made the safety razors, and then others, of course, came along, and it goes on and on and on. And if you want to protect those things, then you apply for a patent, trademark, whatever the case may be, and protect your ideas and so forth. But virtually everything that we see is in some way inspired by something else, as is the case with this. This was brought back, not exactly the same, it's a little bit different in geometry, and certainly the handle It was brought back by PAA a few years ago. I guess they had a 2-3 year run with it. And I liked that razor when I used it, although I didn't like the handle. I thought the handle was garbage, just too short for me. But I did like the razor. And I was glad that Mr. Smythe, got someone to bring this razor back, because it was essentially a copy, not exact, inspired by an old razor. Can't think of the name of it off the top of my head. So when it was brought back by Phoenix, it was essentially a copy with some modifications, inspired by whatever you want to call it. All right, so they took something old and brought it back, and it was great for the consumer. And 9 times out of 10, when I'm talking about things, I'm coming from a consumer point of view, because I'm a consumer. I don't want to spend any more than I have to. So anyway, this razor, the RazoRock SLOC, as they're calling it, is also an inspired by. Hold that thought. Let me get some water here and rinse the dome. That felt pretty doggone good, I must say, on the head. Anyway, let us continue. So anyway, the RazoRock, Joe from RazoRock, some manufacturer, I don't know, China, Indonesia, I have no idea, Taiwan, who knows where, approached him with the design, and he decided to carry it. And that's kind of the way things go. You've seen Parker bring back what's essentially a sort of a copy of the Progress, and some people feel they actually improved on it. Good for the consumer. Very good for the consumer. Brought a razor, fixed some of the problems with the Progress in some people's mind, made it better in some people's mind, and cheaper, which is great for the consumer. So you don't see me complaining about these sort of things. You don't see me complaining when people take a scent, like a Creed scent, and make an inspired by version of a soap or whatever. I like it, because what it means for me is I don't have to spend, an obscene amount of money to enjoy a particular fragrance. I like it. Some people don't. That's okay. But anyway, last week I saw a lot of complaining and gnashing of teeth over this razor. Let me just say this, and I'm going to say this in the nicest way possible. If you yourself are copying something or borrowing heavily from a design, you have no reason to complain when somebody borrows from your design, because you borrowed the design to begin with. And with these, we see these sort of things, and it's like, oh man, come on. If you are known to copy or do inspired by things, you cannot complain when someone else does it to you. You're not the creator of it. Now, yes, I appreciate the effort in bringing back these gems and all the rest. I really do. But come on, folks. If you're copying, folks, yourself, can't do it. Cannot do it. Come on, folks. Be better than that. It'd be a different thing entirely if it was an original creation that was patented or protected in some way. Obviously it isn't, or we wouldn't see these things. Or we wouldn't see these razors like the Merkur, like similar to the Merkur Future, that are cheaper. And I understand if you were the original maker of it, it would probably be aggravating. I get it. But these folks are copying themselves, or using, scent oils that were created by, or the notes at least, that were created by other people, selling them, making a lot of money on them, and no one said a word, And of course, I'm going to be the last one to complain about that, because I like the fact that that I can get a Creed scent, for a decent price. But when I saw the complaining last week on Facebook, and I'm not going to bring any more stuff back because people are just going to copy it. You copied it yourself. You can't even make it up, people. Cannot even make it up. So, with all due respect, I appreciate those of you who, come up with these ideas, who bring these old things back. But make no mistake about it, you're copying when you bring it back. So please, please, don't make a public spectacle about other people doing the exact same thing that you are doing virtually. Now, granted, I know the modifications are made, different handles. This one is not an exact copy of the dock either, right? So, you know, if your distinction from not copying is to say, well, it's not an exact copy, I made modifications, well, this one is too. And so that kind of put a bad taste in my mouth, quite frankly. Boy, that's pretty doggone smooth. And the soap has worked well too. I haven't talked about the soap. We'll get to that. I'll do a third pass here and we'll just continue on. And I know some people are not going to like what I have to say in this video. It's just my opinion. I understand your opinions may differ. It's no reason to be upset or bitter. I'm just calling it like I see it. And the bottom line is, I'll give you an example in my case. A long time ago, back when I was on the traditional shaving evangelist channel, where I first started 4 years ago or more, I didn't realize that when I signed off my videos, I said, have a great day and a great shave. I didn't even realize I was doing it. And later, when I did, I stopped doing it because I realized that actually I had picked that up from Geo Fatboy, who's a legend, of course, in the wet shaving community. I had watched his videos, and he always said, have a great day and a great shave at the end. So you know me, I've had all kind of different things I've said at the end of my videos, but initially I said, have a great day and a great shave, just like Geo Fatboy. So the equivalent of what I saw last week would have been if someone came along and started saying, have a great day and a great shave, and me complaining about it. When it wasn't mine to begin with. Geo Fatboy was the one who said, have a great day and a great shave. He was the one. And others of us, like myself, picked it up, not even realizing I was doing it. But I cannot then claim I brought this back, you know. Because, well, first of all, Geo Fatboy is still around. But secondly, it wasn't mine to begin with. You know, it was his. So again, even in my own case, I picked up something like that, not even realizing I was doing it. But it would have been, you know, really bizarre if someone else had started doing it. And then I said, oh, you're stealing my sign off. It wasn't mine. It was Geo's. So again, if you copy someone else, deliberately or otherwise, even if you're making some modifications to it, you can't then come and point at someone else who does the same thing you do. That's just, come on, people. You got to have some integrity. You got to be honest. And that's foolishness. It's absolute foolishness. Now, that said, again, I want to be very fair when I say I appreciate all the work that went into the dock razor and bringing it back and all the rest. And it was great for the consumer. And this one will be great for the consumer as well. In fact, it's doing a really good job on my head. Much better than the shaves I normally get from Medi. It feels mild, but it's doing a great job. And so I'm taking my time on this video and really, you know, just sort of enjoying it. But anyway, let's get to the soap, because I've talked about this razor and the ensuing sort of gnashing of teeth and moaning about it enough. This soap has been quite good. It has felt quite slick. The scent is probably the only thing. You know, I'm not a fan of minty scents to begin with, so it's really not my thing. Let's see if we have any touching up to do, and I usually do some back here. But I must say, I'm pretty happy with how the soap has performed. So if you're traveling or something like that and looking for a, you know, a nice something that comes in a nice form factor. Now, given, let's see how much this is. This is 2.65 ounces, which would be airplane safe, I do believe. So comes in a nice form factor. It'll definitely get you where you need to be. I really can't think of anything to complain about on a performance basis. The lather on my head initially looked a little bit bubbly, but it still did a great job. I'm gonna touch up a little bit with my cart just to get it super baby smooth, and after that we'll come back and close this baby out. Stay tuned. All right, so here we are back with the magic made by Witches. There's Witch Hazel, which we'll slap on the dome, which is nice and smooth. I did a little bit of touching up with the cart, but not much. Surprisingly, not much, because usually my DE shaves on the dome are not particularly close. They're okay, but not great. But I have to say, the RazoRock SLOC self-lubricating open comb did a great job on the dome. Is it that much different from the dock razor? I don't know. If you like your dock, is there a reason to buy this one? I don't know. They're not exactly the same. I'm pretty sure Joe told me there's some things that is different. Certainly the handle is different. This is a far better handle for my money. This is their barber pole handle. It's really nice. It's got some good weight to it. So this razor worked out beautifully. It's a cheap cast head, so don't expect it to be, you know, anything out of this world. But I tell you, it did a fine job, and I think I got this entire razor for 20 bucks total with this barber pole stainless steel handle. So I'm pretty happy with it. It did a great job on the dome. Tomorrow, I'll try it on the face and see what sort of face shaver it is. And we will certainly give due credit to Douglas over there at PAA, because he did bring back the first version of this with some modifications. And this one is coming along now too. And so great for the consumer. Some people, perhaps, you know, if you're a PAA fan, maybe you feel in some way slighted. I don't. This is an option that consumers have, and I'm all about the consumer personally. Okay, that's where I stand on that. Moral of the story here: if you're the pot, don't call the kettle black. Don't do it. At least not on this channel. All right, the Pacific Shave Company Ultra Slick Shave Stick. If you're traveling, you don't mind the scent of minty, the scent of mint, spearmint, mint, kind of smells like toothpaste to me. It actually did a pretty doggone good job. Absolutely adequate. Provided a really nice platform for the, you know, SLOC to go over. So I'm pretty happy with that. And of course, we used the RazoRock 400 brush. All in all, it was just a really nice, comfortable shave. This razor got closer than I thought it would get, quite frankly. It's actually one of the better head shaves that I've had with a DE, which surprises me, really, because again, this is just a cheap cast head, but maybe it's the right one for my head. I don't know. Continue on and see. So I'm going to finish it out with a little bit of El Gaucho, which I used today. This is from the Shaving Shop Club, and we'll use it on the dome and the face. Since it's what I used this morning, we might as well continue on with this. I think after this, I'll take a nap and I'll smell fantastic. And again, folks, you know, my opinion on this razor, don't get upset. There's no need to rabble around and create a lot of friction. Others said their piece. I have said mine. If you disagree, you know, surely it's fine to comment, but there's no need to rally the troops. And, you know, what typically happens in these situations is someone, you know, we gotta rally, woo woo, you know, and it gets ridiculous. That's not what we're about here. I give my opinion. Sometimes people disagree. That's okay. If you like the double-edged open comb from PAA, buy it. If you like this one, buy it. But we got choices, and that's a great thing in my view. That's what I'm all about. Thanks so much for watching. Until next time, I've been your host, CDB. You're not.